Hare Krishna. So first of all, thanking Mahasabati Prabhuji for giving this wonderful opportunity to hear and to present the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we'll go to the purport of Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is mentioning in this particular shloka, there are a lot of things which we can pick it up from this. So some of the things which I have got it for our understanding are these. So Prabhupada is mentioning the very first line in the purport. He says, for the spiritual advancement of knowledge, a suitable place and atmosphere are definitely required. So now when we talk about the suitable place and atmosphere, so this particular one line itself is giving us a lot of details about what exactly can be a suitable place or an atmosphere. So when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, then we must know that first thing, that whether we are in a suitable place and atmosphere or not. Because if we are not in the suitable place and atmosphere, then we are making our job very difficult. Now, if you have to understand this with an example, so suppose somebody who loves to play cricket, and he is staying in a place where nobody plays cricket. So can this person be expert in playing cricket? He cannot. He need to go and stay in a place where there are people who are playing cricket, or join a particular group of players where he can get exposure to cricket, where he can know how, if he's a batsman, he must know how to bat in different situations, under different pitches, under different climatic conditions. So these secrets will be revealed to him if this person is associating with those who are actually playing cricket, and he needs to go and play with them day in and day out. Only then he can become expert in playing cricket. We can understand this with the example of all great players like Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli. All these great players, they were regularly playing this cricket, and they were practicing on a daily basis. Now, when we talk about practicing Krishna consciousness, you have to just take the same logic. If we are going and staying in a place where there are hardly any devotees, then we cannot practice Krishna consciousness. It will become very, very difficult. So we should not torture ourselves, going to a place where the devotees are not there. So Prabhupada is mentioning here suitable place and atmosphere. So I think Bangalore is the best place, because this place is neither too hot nor too cold, climate-wise also. Because when I was staying in my native place during the COVID for 2 years, I realized how difficult it was to get up in the morning when the temperature is 2 degrees Celsius or 3 degrees Celsius. And at the same time, I found it very difficult to sleep when it was hot summer, when the temperature is reaching 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. So it was very difficult. But we do not have that problem here in Bangalore. We have the weather which is neither too hot nor too cold. It's a moderate weather throughout. So this is one of the best blessings we have got from the Lord, that we are in this place. And I think that is how we can make this place, the first Krishna conscious city, because weather is very, very favorable. Weather plays a big important role. So of course that we have with us, but there are various other things, like we need to consider whether the government is favorable or not. We should not stay in a country where the government does not allow us to associate with the Vaishnavas. The government doesn't allow us to go to the temple, or doesn't allow the temple construction. So if we are in that place and earning big money, so that is still not good, because that money is not going to help us, practicing our Krishna consciousness, if the devotees are not there, if we are not having our festivals, if the temple is not there. So that's second point. First thing is suitable weather. The second thing is the government is favorable. Third thing is the temple should be nearby. So I think many devotees have realized this already, those who were staying close to temple, and when they moved away from the temple, how difficult it became for them to even come to the temple. So this is very important point. Sometimes we, get allured by Maya, and we think, okay, I think we can stay away, and weekly once we can come, it's okay. But the more far we go away from the temple, it becomes more difficult. And I'm sure the devotees who are staying close to the temple, they will agree with me when I mention this. It hardly takes us like 1 to 2 minutes to go to the temple. Any important event is there, any festival is going on, or you have to go back and come back for some urgent work. You're always there. It's very accessible. You can always go for daily services. You can go for daily Bhagavatam. You can go for Mangal Arti, Darshanarti, Sandhya Arti, etc. You can associate with the Vaishnavas. If any Maharaj is coming, it becomes very easy to go to the temple. So again, this is another point, that if the temple is nearby and if we have a choice, we must make that choice. Now, devotees, we have to stay in a place where devotees are accessible. We can't go to Himalayas and practice Krishna consciousness. Sometimes people think we will go in a very peaceful place where there is no disturbance. So mind you, the disturbance is in the mind. Even if you go and stay in Himalayas and you have your mobile in your place, and if the network is there, then you will definitely not only you, even even if I go to Himalayas and I know that Mathurapati Prabhu is not watching me, so I can get attracted to various other allurement which Maya is offering. And there is Netflix is there is Amazon Prime is there, so many platforms are there, cinema is running, so many things are there, YouTube is there. It is very easy to get caught by Maya. So it's very important that we do not go and stay in Himalayas separately away from the devotees and thinking that I am like one very exalted devotee and I will utilize my full time in bhakti. It is not possible. Many devotees have fallen practicing Krishna consciousness alone. Now, next thing is, this is again very important. I don't know if anyone of you get hurt by this point, so please forgive me. But yes, this is the point, and I want to make this point. Many times we are very afraid to go away from our non-devotee friends or our relatives. Relatives are, I don't know what we can say. If they are not devotees of the Lord, or they are not favorable for Krishna consciousness, they are very, very dangerous for us, because they are going to snatch away our Krishna consciousness. Even friends, they will make so many plans, come for the movie, come for a party, come for some trip, come for some trekking, we'll go for some beaches, so many things. India provides so many opportunities now. We have Himalayas, we have beaches, we have plains, we have plateau, whatnot, everything is there. So they will pull us there. So politely, humbly, we need to, keep giving them prasadam and request them that you are held up with something. By some way, you have to, try avoiding that association. You can bring them to your association, give them prasadam, but, pray for them. But do not try to get attached by these friends and relatives, because they are going to snatch away your Krishna consciousness. And in the end, you will realize the devotees, the friends are not there, the relatives are not there, and even Krishna is not there because we could not practice Krishna consciousness properly. So this is another point. And then next thing is, keep a very simple job, because if you are keeping very complicated job, working like a donkey from morning, I don't know, 6 o'clock till night 6 o'clock, then there is no spiritual progress. There is you feel very dry, and even if you get some overtime money, you feel like you are a real donkey, because you're working hard so much. And you see there are people on the street, they don't work hard so much, but still they are able to live happily. So we do not want to become a donkey, because we are well educated. So that's the intelligent choice we have to make. Keep a very simple job, don't make very complicated job. Then next one is making the right choice every time, because in this particular chapter we are going to discuss about the grahastha ashram also. So that is why I'm bringing this topic. We need to be very, very careful in every decision we make and every choice we make. Amog Leela Prabhuji says that Maya will give us choice every second. So we have a choice every second, whether we are going to choose Maya or we are going to choose Krishna every second. So every time we have to choose Krishna and we have to reject choosing Maya. And that is when we become intelligent. Now, when we say making a right choice, so there are a lot of things which come into this, but the prominent things which is coming into my mind are these things. Number one, marriage. So if you are not married, then we can't do much about it. But if you are not married, then definitely we have to make a choice that you marry somebody who is practicing Krishna consciousness very, very seriously. Somebody who is senior to you, who is practicing Krishna consciousness properly, because that person, whether Prabhuji or Mataji, they are going to make your life comfortable. And you can, because your choice is Krishna consciousness. And if you go and marry somebody who is material conscious, then it is very difficult. There are some, and this is a very serious matter, because I've seen some devotees who were practicing nicely and they ended up making a wrong choice, getting married to somebody whom they love, and that person was not a devotee. So initially in 1 month, 2 months, it doesn't make any sense. You will enjoy. But as the life progresses, marriage is all about, it's a very big responsibility, because you're going to have children and you're going to bring those children in Krishna consciousness. But if you marry a wrong person, then that wrong person is always going to have his or her own impact on your children. You will be very, very frustrated, suffering throughout, because you'll know that your children are not becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness. You are finding it difficulty in your daily worship of the Lord, bhoga offering, so many things. So what is the point becoming happy for 1 month and then suffering for the entire life? So this is very, very important topic. Marriage, very, very important. And if you are married somebody, you have got married to somebody who is not a devotee, then you have to take the Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas guidance in every choice you make, because only by the guidance of Vaishnavas that person can become devotee. Otherwise, it will become very difficult. Then next thing is, of course, kids, your job, your expenditures, whatever you are money, the money which you are spending, traveling, whichever places they are traveling. So all these are the different choices which we need to be very careful in our making. We need to ask this question to ourselves, whether this particular choice is going to help me in Krishna consciousness, or it is going to take me away from Krishna consciousness. So if you have the answer that this particular thing is good, but it is taking me away from Krishna consciousness, so it is good that we reject that choice, because eventually it is going to make us suffer. Remember, we are intelligent, educated people, right? So we shouldn't make any choices which are going to put us in trouble. So next one is, so finally it is summing up to this point that we have a simple living and high thinking. That is what Prabhupada is saying. Keep a very simple standard, very simple living, and your thinking should be very high. And that is how we can do good for ourselves and we can do good for others also. Now, in this context, there is a story coming up, and I hope you like this story. The story I heard when I was going to Udupi, not Udupi, we were going to Hampi Yatra, our Radha Gopinath circle, and in the car I heard the story from Radhana Swami Maharaj. So Radhana Swami Maharaj tells this story about a sage who was practicing bhakti in a forest, in some ashram. So he was doing tapasya in his ashram, and then one day he sees that there is a rat, and rat is cutting the clothes, his clothes were torn by the eaten by the rat. So he was he was thinking, what should I do, because this rat is going to trouble me. So he asked one of his friend that what should I do. See, remember, he did not ask a devotee, he did not ask his guru, but he is asking his friend. So his friend gave him a wonderful idea. He said, see, this rat is eating your clothes, so do one thing, you bring a cat. So if the cat is there, the cat will kill the rat and your job is easy. So this person doesn't think much, he brings a cat. Now when he brings the cat, so the rat is finished and he is happily doing his chanting. But when he is chanting, suddenly there is a sound coming, and the sound is the sound of this cat. This cat is doing meow, meow, and the cat is, wanting the milk. So now this person is thinking, oh, how do I get the milk now? Now this is a problem. The rat is not there, but cat is making a lot of sound. So now he goes to his friends, and his friend suggested him another wonderful idea. This time he says, see, the cat wants milk, right? So do something which will, facilitate milk for the cat. So this sage will ask, what should I do? So this friend will advise him that you do one thing, you bring a cow in your house. So if the cow is there, cow will give the milk, and the milk will be, the cat will drink the milk and cat will be quiet. So this person thinks, okay, this is a very nice idea, and let me bring a cow. So he brings a cow in his house, and now the cat has got the milk and cat is satisfied. So again, he's doing his japa, and then when he's doing his japa, there is a sound coming again. Now this time it is a sound of a, not the rat, not the cat, but cow is making a sound. So now cow is making a sound because cow is hungry. So he thinks, okay, now I have to go, arrange for the food for the cow. So he goes to the forest, brings the grass, and giving the grass to the cow. And he is realizing he's losing a lot of time. That valuable time he's using bringing the grass for the cow. So again, he will go to his friend and he will ask, my dear friend, the cow is making sound. So he'll say, okay, do one thing. When the cow is making sound, because cow is hungry, you must do something which will bring food for the cow. So this person will ask, what should I do? So this friend will advise, do one thing. This cow wants food, and for that you must get married. So you get married, and then your wife will be there, and she will arrange for the food for the cow, and then cow will give milk, and the cat will be satisfied. So this person agrees, and he gets married. And after marriage, the cow is satisfied, the cat is satisfied, but the person is not satisfied, because this time wife is the one who is making sound. And the wife's sound was not only for food, but for so many other things. She wanted food, she wanted jewelry, she wanted good clothes, she wanted to go to her relatives' places, she wanted some celebrations, she wanted so many things. Now this person is holding his head and he's sitting that, oh my God, now what do I do? And again he goes to his friend. So the point is, no, so this time finally he goes to a Vaishnava, and then he will suggest he will share his problems. And then they realize that his actual problem was only that the rat was cutting the cloth. That was still okay. But see, now the biggest problem is there, that this person has to go for a job to satisfy his wife, and he had to join a corporate office 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is no corporate office. Actually, it becomes 9 to 9. And then his traveling time, this, that, and also his bhakti was taken away. So the point here is that, if we are not making a very intelligent decision and not taking the guidance from the senior Vaishnavas, we are going to be like this person who kept doing so many things on the guidance of his friend, and ultimately he spoiled his Krishna consciousness. He had no time to practice bhakti, and he had a very difficult life going forward. So this was one story which I thought it will be relevant to this particular topic. Now the next point coming up here is, and this is my last point, Prabhupada is saying residential place should be an ashram, because he says that brahmachari is also brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. They have one goal, and that goal is the realization of Lord. So for that matter, grahastha ashram is very, very important, because in grahastha ashram we have the access to money. So Prabhupada said we wanted every house to become a temple. How it is a temple? Because we are offering arti, we are offering 3 arti for the Lord, for Guru Maharaj, for Tulsi Maharani, and then the family is chanting together in the morning and in the evening, and then wife is preparing nice items and offering to Lord, and that offering is done with a lot of love. And then we see that Bhagavatam is being discussed, in the evening or in the morning, whenever the time is there, the family is sitting together and discussing Bhagavatam. And then kids are getting trained in Krishna consciousness. And last point is, there is a great cooperation between husband, wife, and children, because the purpose is to serve the Lord. And when Lord is satisfied, the family members and everybody is satisfied. So many times people ask this question, that I have so many problems in my family, and there are so many fights. So the simple answer to that is that when Krishna is satisfied, then everybody is satisfied. So we have to prioritize the service of the Lord, and we don't have to stick to the points that only husband can do this, or wife can do this, or children can do this. It's not like that. For the service of the Lord, we have to work together, and we have to keep our requirements very, very limited, and use the entire house for the service of the Lord. Like all our senior Vaishnavas are using their houses for the service of the Lord. They have opulent altar, they have a very big hall, because devotees can gather there, and they keep their requirements very, very simple, when very simple place to sleep, that's it. So that is how we have to learn from the senior Vaishnavas, and that way we can keep our residential place, we can make our residential place as an ashrama. Prabhupada is also saying that brahmachari stage is very important. So nowadays we know what the brahmachari stage people are doing. Youngsters, they're either watching mobile, TV, or going out, making boyfriend or girlfriends, and spoiling their wonderful and nice time for which was given to them the initial stage for bhakti. They are wasting their time in all these stupid things, and that is how this brahmachari ashram, which was supposed to be an ashram, it is becoming a chaos. Many children's, even somebody who is not in the bad habits, they are studying throughout the day. They are making full time, 97, 98% marks. And what is the use if you are not learning the tricks of life? If you are not learning the way you can live peacefully in your life, if you are not learning all these things, then even the Jad Vidya is not going to help us. It can give you a job, but the satisfaction will not come still. So see, these are the very, very important aspects which we come to know when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam. So today's topic, we heard these some of the important points. Number one, we heard that we must be in a very suitable place and atmosphere if we want to practice Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, things will become very difficult for us, and we will end up suffering, and we will just waste our life. And maybe in the next life, if we can take birth in some devotee's house. But yes, Prabhupada says, why to wait for the next life? We must make it up in this life, because everything is in your control. The next one is we must make our house as an ashram, grahastha ashram, which means, like we have discussed, everything should be done for the pleasure of the Lord, and we should keep our requirements very, very limited. And third thing which we discussed is that all the stages are very, very important, whether it is brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, or sannyasi. The purpose is the realization of the Supreme Lord. And for that matter, brahmachari is the most important ashram, because if the brahmachari is not trained, then he cannot become a good grahastha. And if somebody doesn't become a good grahastha, then of course he will never go for the vanaprastha. He will be always stuck with their own choices. And last point is that when we cooperate with each other, whether it is different ashrama, or whether it is the family members, or whether it is in a group or devotees, only then we can churn the best out of our life. So with this, I'll give you a pause here. Thank you so much for your patience. And if there are any corrections, so please make the corrections. I seek your apologies if I have said something which has offended somebody. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Andhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.